Hello everybody, welcome to Bodha Academy. I am Kamlakar, lecturer in physics. Today we will be going to discuss few problems which were asked in TS EAMCET 2019. First, let us do a problem which was from the chapter Laws of Motion and Friction. So in this problem, it is mentioned that two small blocks A and B are connected by a string and passed over a pulley, and they are placed on a big block X. The big block X moves with an acceleration A. You are supposed to find what is the value of acceleration A so that the blocks A and B remain stationary. Okay, let us see how to solve this problem. So first we will draw the diagram. So you can observe that what are the forces that are acting on block A and block B. So first we'll start with the block A. So on block A, tension in the string will be acting towards right. And therefore friction, the block will tend to move towards right. So friction will act towards left. So this friction I am calling it as F1. Weight of the block mg will be acting vertically downward direction. Normal reaction will be acting perpendicular to this surface of contact. If this block X is at rest, then no pseudo force acts. But as block X moves towards right, pseudo force will act on block A towards left. So this pseudo force is nothing but MA. Therefore, if this block is at rest, then left side forces must be equals to right side forces. So I can write left side force is nothing but MA plus F1. Right side force is nothing but T. If these two are equal in horizontal directions, if these two forces are equal, then the block A will be at rest. Okay. So I can write the same equation as MA plus F1 is equals to mu1 into normal reaction is equals to T. I'm just using the concept F is equals to mu n. So this I can write it as MA plus mu1 into N1 is nothing but, you can observe here, upward force equals downward force at equilibrium. So N1 must be equals to mg. N1 must be equals to mg. That's equals to T. Okay. So in the problem, this mu1 value is given as 0.5. Mu1 value is given as 0.5. So I can write MA plus 0.5 mg is equals to T. So let me call this as equation 1. Let me call this as equation 1. So these are the forces that are acting on this first block, top block A. Okay. Now we'll find out what are the forces that are acting on block B. So on B, on block B, you can observe here, weight of the block mg will be acting downward direction, tension will be acting upward direction. So block B is at rest means T must be equals to mg. T must be equals to mg. Further, you can observe that in the problem it is mentioned that there exists a friction between these two also, block X and block A. B, there exists a friction. So here block B tends to move downward direction. So friction will be acting in upward direction along the surface of contact. So F2 will be acting tangential and upward direction at this point. Now, if this block X is at rest, no pseudo force acts on it. But as block X is in motion, so pseudo force acts on this block and block B also. Okay. Now at equilibrium, I can consider that F2 plus T must be equals to mg. I can write F2 is equals to mu2 n2 plus t is equals to mg. Or I can write F2 into N2. You can observe that here at equilibrium, left side force and right side force must be equal. So N2 must be equals to MA. MA plus T is equals to mg. So this m2 mu2 value is nothing but again 0.5 as per problem. So 0.5 ma plus t is equals to mg. Call it as equation 2. So now we must solve this equation 1 and 2 and find the value of a. So what I'll doing is I'll substitute t value from 1 in equation 2. So I'll write substituting t value from 1, t value from equation 1 in equation 2. In equation 2 we get, so equation 2 0.5 ma plus t. So I'll be writing 0.5 ma plus t. In place of t, I'll be writing this value one, ma plus 0.5 mg. ma plus 0.5 mg is equals to, then I'll be writing this value mg equal to mg. Now m is common throughout, we can cancel off. So here you will get 0.5a plus a, so it is 1.5a is equals to this 0.5g, send other side, you will get g minus 0.5g, that's equals to 0.5g. Therefore a is equals to 0.5 g divided by 1.5. So this you can cancel off, 0.5, 1.5 will cancel by 3 times. So this implies a is equals to g by 3. So this is how we are supposed to solve this problem. Is it clear? Okay. So next problem. Now in this problem, two blocks are there. One is of mass 3 kg, other block is also mass 3 kg. They are on frictionless table. So let us draw the diagram first. So you can observe here two blocks. First block M1 whose mass is 3 kg and other block M2 whose mass is 3 kg. Both are equal masses. So in the problem it is given that M1 is equals to M2 is equals to M, that's equals to 3 kg. Now this second block is initially at rest and first block is moving with velocity 4 meter per second. They will collide with each other and then stick together. They will fall from a table. What is the velocity we are supposed to find? Okay, so first we'll apply law of conservation of momentum in this case. So I can write by law of conservation of momentum, initial momentum before collision is equals to m1 u1 for first block plus m2 velocity of second block, initial velocity of second block is 0 because it's at rest, is equals to, this is momentum before collision. After collision, moment is equals to, both masses stick together, so mass will become m1 plus m2 into velocity v. Now substitute the values. M1 is 3 kg, u1 is 4, this one is 0, is equals to, I can write it as 2 into m2 value is again m1 plus m2 both are same, so that's equals to 3. 2 into 3, okay, let me write like this, 3 plus 3 into v. Okay, so this I can write it as V is equals to 4 3 is 12, 3 plus 3 is 6, that's equals to 2 meter per second. So this is the velocity we will be getting after collision. Both bodies will move this common velocity V here. So let me call this point as star A and this point as B. Touching the ground, this one we call it as B. And I'll apply law of conservation of energy at A and B. So by law of conservation of energy, I can write it as total energy at A must be equals to total energy at B. Total energy at B. So total energy is nothing but sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy at A is equals to sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy at B. Kinetic energy at B. Total energy is equals to sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. So I can write potential energy plus kinetic energy at A is equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy at B. Okay. So potential energy is equals to, so at the top of the table, mass, both bodies will stick together. So mass is M plus M into G into H. So this is the potential energy at point A. Both bodies stick together. So M1 plus M2 both are equal. So I can write M plus M into GH. Okay. So kinetic energy is at the point A at the top of the table. So that's equals to half mass M plus M into V square is equals to potential energy on touching the ground is 0 plus kinetic energy at B. This we are supposed to find. Kinetic energy at B we are supposed to find. So this I can write it as 2M into GH plus half into 2M into V square is equals to kinetic energy at B. Let us simplify this. So 2 into M value is given as 3 kg. So 2 into 3, G is 10, height is given as 1 meter, plus this 2 will get cancelled off. So mass is 3 kg. Velocity we got it as 2 meter per second. Velocity we got as 2 meter per second. So into 2 square, that's equals to kinetic energy at B. So this on simplification will get kinetic energy at B when touching the ground. Kinetic energy value will be equals to 72 joules. This will be getting as 72 joules. Okay. So this is the answer for this problem. Let us proceed for the next problem. So next problem, a ball of mass 2 kg is thrown from top of a building with a velocity u bar 20 I cap plus 24 j cap at time t is equals to 0. You are supposed to find change in potential energy of the ball after 8 seconds. Okay. So this is a tower. From the top of a tower, ball is projected with a velocity u bar. Okay. So it travels in a parabolic path and touches the ground. In the problem, ball is assumed to be in air during motion between 0 to 8 seconds. So time of flight, t value is given as 8 seconds. And velocity u bar is given as 20 I cap plus 24 j cap. 20 I cap plus 24 j cap. This is the initial velocity of projection. Okay. Now we want to find what is the velocity with which the projectile or the ball touches the ground. So this velocity we want to find. So this I'll write it as using V is equals to U plus AT. We get, so V bar is equals to U bar, A is replaced with G. So in vector notation, I can write it as G into minus J cap, into T. That is, this point I am taking as origin. So this is I am taking as x-axis. So this one will be y-axis, this one will be y-axis. So this is origin. So this point I am taking as origin. So this is in the downward direction. G value will be in the downward direction towards negative y-axis. So I am taking minus j cap. Okay, so this I can write it as u bar is nothing but 20 I cap plus 24 j cap minus g value is 10 j cap into time we got it as is given as 8. So this on simplification will get v bar is equals to 20 I cap. So here 80 plus minus 80 plus 24, it's equals to minus 80 plus 24, that's equals to minus 56 j cap meter per second. So this is the final velocity. This is the final velocity. Okay. Now question is, what is change in potential energy? Okay. So next is, by law of conservation of energy, I can write it as total energy at starting point will be equals to total energy at final point. So total energy is nothing but sum of potential energy plus kinetic energy. So initial potential energy plus initial kinetic energy. Sum of total final energy is equal to sum of final potential energy plus final kinetic energy. Final kinetic energy. So this implies I can write it as P final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Initial potential energy is equals to, so this I can write it as Ke initial minus Ke final. Ke final. So this I can write it as final potential energy minus initial potential energy equals to change in potential energy. So change in potential energy is equals to final initial kinetic energy I can write as half m u square minus final kinetic energy I can write half m v square. Okay, so this I can write it as half m into u square minus v square, half m into u square minus v square. Okay, so here I am supposed to find u square and v square values. So let me call this equation as say equation 1. Equation 1. So first I'll find out u square and v square values. Okay. So u square is equals to, I can write it as u bar dot u bar. That's equals to u bar is given as 20 I cap plus 24 j cap. 20 I cap plus 24 j cap dot 20 I cap plus 24 j cap. So that's equals to, do the dot product. So 20 into 20 plus 24 into 24. So that's equals to, we'll get this as 400 plus we will get this as 576. So that's equals to, we'll get this as 976. Okay, so u square value is 976. Okay. Similarly, we'll find v square value. So v square is equals to v bar dot v bar. So that's equals to v value, we got it as 20 I cap minus 56 j cap. 20 I cap minus 56 j cap. So 20 I cap minus 56 j cap dot 20 I cap minus 56 j cap. So that's equals to, I can write this as dot product simplification, 20 into 20 minus 56 into 56. So this on simplification we will be getting as 400 minus 56 into minus 56 plus minus 56 into minus 56. So we'll getting as 3136. 3136. So that's equals to, we'll getting this as 3536. So these are u square and v square values. So this will substitute. Therefore, equation, this one, change in potential is equals to half m into u square minus v square. So equation 1 becomes, therefore equation 1 becomes, so change in potential energy, I'll denote it like this, delta PE is equals to half m into u square. U square is nothing but 976 minus v square is nothing but 3536 is equals to half mass of the body is given as 2 kg. Mass of the body is given as 2 kg. So I can write 2 into this, on simplification, 976 minus 3536, you will be getting as minus 2560. So this will get cancelled off. We'll get minus 2560 joules, or I can write this as minus 2.56 kilojoules. So this is the answer for this problem. This is the answer for this problem. Okay. Next problem. So this problem is based on heat and thermodynamics concept. So in the problem, nitrogen gas is given. So it is compressed adiabatically so that pressure increases by 10 times. Now you are supposed to find what is the final temperature of the gas if initial temperature is given. Okay. So I will write, given initial temperature T1 is given as T0, that's also equals to 300 Kelvin. This is the information given in the problem. Okay, so pressure, initial pressure, let me take it as P, so that final pressure will be equals to 10 times P. 10 times P. This is given in the problem. So you are supposed to find T2 is equals to how much. Also it is given that nitrogen is nitrogen gas. So nitrogen gas, it's a diatomic. So diatomic gas means, so this implies I can write gamma value for diatomic gas is 1.4. It's also equals to 7 by 5. This is the standard value. Diatomic gas, gamma value is 1.4, that's equals to 7.5. Okay. Now for adiabatic process, for an adiabatic process, we got adiabatic relation T power gamma by P power gamma minus 1 is equals to constant. So this I'll write it as T power gamma, P1 power of gamma by P1 to the power of gamma minus 1 is equals to T2 to the power of gamma divided by P2 to the power of gamma minus 1. Okay, rearrange the terms and simplify. So I'll write this as T2 to the by T1 to the power of gamma is equals to P2 by P1 to the power of gamma minus 1. Gamma minus 1. Or this I can write it as T2 by T1 is equals to P2 by P1 to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. Okay, we'll substitute the values. So T2 by T1 is given as 300. So T1 is given as 300. That's equals to P1 is P, P2 is 10P. Gamma is 1.4. So substitute the values. So this P cancels off. So that's equals to, I can write this as T2 by 300 is equals to 10 power 0.4 by 1.4. So this on simplification, we can cancel off here. So I'll cancel off So this will cancel off 2 by 7. So I'll do the simplification here. So you'll be getting T2 by 300 will be equals to 10 power 2 by 7. So this I'll write it as 10 square to the power of 1 by 7. So 10 square is nothing but 100 to the power of 1 by 7. In the problem, this 100 to the power of 1 by 7 value is given. Observe here. So he has given the value 10 power 100 power 1 by 7 is equals to 1.9. So I'll write this as 1.9. Therefore, T2 is equals to cross multiply 1.9 into 300. So this on simplification, you'll get the answer as 570 Kelvin. 570 Kelvin. Hope you are thorough with these concepts and you are able to understand them clearly. Thank you. In next video, we'll discuss some more concepts. Okay.